I think we can start. Good morning. This is the Gardener community meeting. Let me share. Let's see. So today we have two topics. The first one is output qualification and end-to-end tests from Oleg and Tim. And then we have an update on machine controller manager from Prashanth and Oleg. I have one more short topic. In the last retrospective, we discussed about the Thursday afternoon meeting. We found that there seemed to be no American attendees of that meeting, which was the target audience for this time. And the attendance was always less than for the Friday meeting. So we would like to move the Thursday meeting also back to Friday morning. If anyone has an issue with that, please let us know, then we can stop this move. What we could also do is that we, on demand, that we do from time to time a meeting, which is convenient for US attendees if there are any interested. Okay, then Tim, I think you can start.
Oleg.
Or Oleg, I don't know who will start.
Hello, can you see my screen? Yeah, should be the case, right? Yes, my name is Oleg, and this presentation is about the usage laboratories of Kubernetes E2E test suite for clusters that are created by Gardener. And we go through the opportunities. So why does it make sense to use this Kubernetes test suite and the challenges we faced? And
Oleg, can you come a bit closer to the microphone?
The E2E tests and where we are right now. So why does it make sense? First of all, this is a huge E2E Kubernetes test suite, and we are creating daily many clusters with Gardener, and therefore it does definitely make sense to use it, and we are able to check the quality of these clusters created by Gardener beyond conformance tests and identify issues if any tests are failing and fix that as fast as possible. Additionally, we are able to use them as a barrier for our Gardener releases in case we face any issues with E2E tests. We are need to fix them before we release a new Gardener version. And we can do regular health checks on dev landscapes and others to ensure the consistent behavior of Gardener clusters. And the challenges that we faced are such. So first of all, running the test suite is really time consuming. They need several hours. If you run the whole suite, you need probably the whole day. And the test suite contains also disruptive tests, which break the whole test suite run. And then you have no test results at all, or maybe only a few test results, and need to start from the beginning. And also there are alpha feature tests contained, which we are not interested in, and many false positives tests where we need to find the relevant tests for our Garden created clusters. And yeah, also we need also an approach to evaluate all these test results over time and compare them for different cloud providers and landscapes, and finally some test cases are flaky and need to be evaluated in a special way. We need a consistent results for the tests in order to interpret them correctly. So, and this was our journey. Previously, we only executed conformance tests with Sunoboy. Why that? Because it's pretty straightforward, and the conformance test suite consists of around about 200 E2E test cases. And this was fine, but we wanted to extend this test suite and switch to cube tests for more flexibility. We can use special corresponding list of E2E tests and run them also parallelly if it's possible for some of them. And we installed Elasticsearch and Kibana for better test results evaluation, and explored the remaining E2E tests, evaluated them group by group, and also evaluated the failing tests in order to check whether this were false positives or true failing tests, and found out that mostly they were failing due to unsupported or unused features. So the tests were not applicable for our clusters. And in the end, we separated also the E2E test cases in two major buckets: the fast tests, which require less than 5 minutes runtime, and the slow and serial tests, in order to have one fast running test suite, and which we can run on more regular basis, and the slow test suite, which we can run in a less frequent way. And yeah, we additionally also introduced the flake attempt equals 2 argument to our test runs. So this means if any test case fails, there is a second attempt to run this test and get it green. This was done in order to get the more stable results of our test suite runs. And where are we right now? We are running the conformance test for all supported cloud providers and all supported Kubernetes versions of Gardener on daily basis, and push the results to the test grid. You can go to this link and explore the results. And additionally to that, we explored in total around about 2,100 test cases, and the majority, so the 1,400 test cases, has been identified as not applicable for our clusters created by Gardener because of different reasons. Some of them were some specific driver requirements have not matched, or some tests required multiple nodes in order to run, or what else, GPU was requested, and many tests also didn't work in all time, so they are never successful. So there are a huge bunch of tests that there is always failing, and which need to be fixed at first. And the rest, so around about 700 test cases, are now executed on a regular basis and for all cloud providers, and provide us a good coverage for our clusters. And of this, 560 are the fast tests, which are run in parallel and need about 40 minutes to run. And the rest, 130, are the slow and serial tests, which need 4 hours, and we run them on daily basis only. And we still have some test cases which need to be evaluated, investigated, because with each Kubernetes release version, new test cases appear. Some of them are renamed, and some of them are not alpha anymore, and therefore need to be retested. So this is an ongoing process, and yeah, we are still on it.
Are you reporting your findings back to the project where the tests come from?
In some cases, yeah. And this is our dashboard in Kibana. We go to the page, to the dashboard directly. So this is how it looks like. This is for time frame 2 days before. And what you can see here over time for each cloud provider, the test suites that has been run. And you see that some cloud providers are more stable than others. And one red bar represents a failed test suite run. Green bar represents a successful test suite run. In this case, we see here in this graph here only the fast test. So this 560 test cases.
What is this first row?
The first row is Asia.
Hmm.
So that here Asia, GCP, AWS, OpenStack, and AliCloud. Yeah, and on AliCloud we are currently working to get it more to get it work for all versions. Right now it's not the case. On this below chart, we see the amount of test cases that are failed for the corresponding provider. So in this case here, the Asia, and here the OpenStack. Further below, we see the unique test cases count. So how many test cases are right now executed. We see these buckets that are executed and how many times. So in the last days, we executed the fastest 180 times, and the slow test 5 times. And to see the distribution of the different E2E SIG groups and see the coverage here of each. We see the runtime duration of a test suite runs for each bucket and for each cloud provider, and landscape as well. We monitor the failing test suite runs and the failing test cases. We see also the success rates of each test case. In this case here, for example, okay, maybe Asia is not a good example, but here for GCP, each test case has a successful rate here, and how many times it was executed, how many times it failed, and average duration, and so on. And at the bottom, we also see only the failing test cases and can drill down to them and see for one specific test case how it's executed for all landscapes and providers. Do we see from a specific point in time a consistent failing test case, for example? And this is then a hint where we need to investigate and dig into it. And yeah, this is it. Thank you for your attention. Do you have any questions? It's not the case, then thank you.
Thank you, Oleg. Then we can go to the second topic on the agenda. Prashanth or Hardik, are you taking over?
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
We can see your screen, but we can't hear you.
You can't hear me, is it?
I can hear you.
I can also hear you.
Okay. So I'll start then. Okay. Quick round of updates for the MCM. We had a new release of MCM recently, the 16.0.
We cannot hear you.
I can I can hear you.
Yeah. Is Matthias only not able to hear me?
Yes, I guess it's only Matthias.
Should I wait or should I go ahead?
Yeah, just wait a second.
I can also hear you.
The speaker.
Can you hear me, Matthias?
Can you hear us now?
Matthias?
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Es kommt über deinen. So it's now better?
Hello?
Should
Now we can hear you.
Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, just a quick round of updates on the latest MCM release 16.0. So we had quite some improvements in drains. So where even if a drain earlier, when a drain fails, it used to give up and just try to forcefully delete the machine. Now what we do is we try to do a drain on the pods, we try an eviction, and if it fails, we forcefully delete the pods by setting their grace periods to 0. And so even in case of a forceful deletion, we always do a drain, but with a shorter time period. This is done to make sure that any disks that were attached to machines have been disconnected. And now the drain call also makes lesser API calls. So these are some improvements in drains. And with respect to Azure, we actually explicitly detach these data disks, or also known as the PVCs, attached to a VM before deletion, because we saw this was causing some issues for us while deletion of VMs, and we saw Azure VMs being stuck on pending state due to this. So we are explicitly detaching these disks and doing these improvements in drains to accommodate all this. And then we have a bug fix while unfreezing of machine sets and deployments as well. We saw that sometimes the machine set deployment remains frozen even if the machines, if the number of machines was lesser. So we have fixed it. What we have also done is we have allowed manual unfreezing of machine sets and deployments, because earlier we were not using the status sub resource. So an operator could directly go and edit the status fields of the machine set and machine deployment. But now, since we have moved to the status sub resource, we were not able to manipulate the status. So what we have done is we have introduced an annotation. On putting out these annotations in either the machine set or the machine deployment, it unfreezes it, as well as if you put it on the machine deployment, it unfreezes any machine sets backing the machine deployment. So these are some updates, and there's some updates, improvements in tests as well. So these are the overall updates, high level updates for the 16.0. What we are currently working on is majorly, whatever bug fixes and minor enhancements we have, we are taking that as prio 1. And what we are also working on is, we had some stop on the out of tree mechanism for MCM because we had other bug fixes to take care of. But I think most of that is now resolved, and we are kind of resumed the work on the out of tree mechanism for MCM. And what we also have is support for taints, annotations, and labels. So basically what you could do is you could provide these fields on the machine objects, let it be machines, machine set, machine deployment, and this will be propagated to the node objects. This work is actually merged in the MCM. The integration to the Gardener is also ready, but the testing of this integration is pending, due to which we still haven't merged it into the Gardener. Probably in the upcoming, maybe the next week, we'll give a quick demo of how you can test this feature out with the Gardener itself. Yeah, that's about it from my side. Any questions, comments? Okay, if that's not the case, I'm done. Thanks.
Thank you, Prashanth. Do we have any other topics to discuss? Anyone in the room? Seems not to be the case. Then thank you, everybody, for attending. And we will then next week have the meeting on Friday as well. I will send around an update of the calendar item. Bye-bye.